My name is Athos Gomez Fonseca. I am very, I am a very angry person. Anger is something I've dealt with my whole life. I've had my own fair share of traumas and deceptions, which have only exacerbated things, made things worse for myself, and I have played a role in my own present situation, which, as is the case with a lot of people out here in the world, um, it's just a mess. And I brought someone in to become a roommate about last year, December, going on 5 months now. And after two incidents where, because of my anger, my stress, I mean, I'm not diagnosed, but I'm pretty sure I'm on the spectrum somewhere. Probably BPD, probably CPTSD, amongst a number of other neural disorders. So I'm essentially, I would presume, neurodivergent. I haven't really sought diagnosis because I'm pretty high functioning. And I have worked, been able to function up until recently, and I will remain. But I just wanted to come out here and share my story. So at 33, I find out I'm adopted. Not too long after that trauma, right? Someone from my past just rolls up to my house with another friend, right? And in the time since, I've had nervous breakdowns, panic attacks. And after that, someone that happened to come up, right after that trauma to facilitate the trauma bond, I'm pretty confident I'm the victim of gang stalking and gaslighting from my former colleagues and their acquaintances. I've had a few interactions with the police today. They don't seem to care. So I figured I'd come out here and share my story and make it very public so that the people involved, Tiana Dixon and her peers, Rita Normandin, my former ex, and Jeremy Adams, the person that introduced me to Tiana, whom I'm pretty sure has been trying her hardest to gaslight me and coerce me into essentially, acting out. Because again, to be perfectly frank, I've been suicidal over the last 2 years now since I learned about my being adopted, just coping with that. And then now both my adoptive parents as well as my biological mom are dealing with some health issues. Myself, I have my own fair share of bad health. And again, I could just be a crazy person talking nonsense, and the people in question could simply be victims of my own insanity. And if that's the case, I apologize, and I am going to do better for myself and for everyone, namely my family, my people, the people who have supported me through it all. But yeah, it's been rough, and I'm just coming out here to say that sometimes you're gonna deal with things, and a lot of the time it's of our own doing, but it's also not always our own doing, but rather external factors become evident to me in my case. And as the cops told me, it's a serious accusation, and among other things, because I'm pretty confident that she's a cross-state trafficker. Again, I have no real proof. This is just something tells me that this has been going on, and they're part of a gang stalking ring that's just been essentially existing to troll me, to bother me. Again, my mirrors were busted. People put nails in my tire already, and just little things in the home space, in the common spaces, as she herself calls it, right? That she did to essentially disturb my peace. And I'm pretty sure that I'm on some type of list just because of my outbursts of anger, right? Where I scream out loud, fuck everybody, I want everybody to die. The usual thing that people who, when they're very mad, but who are actually capable of restraining themselves, they're just doing these as essentially an escape, right? So it's a valve to let out. Because as a person that has anger issues, the last thing you want an angry person to do is to bottle it up. They have to find a venue. Some people it's martial arts, other people it's exercising, running, you name it. For me, it's literally just screaming out loud and saying some unsavory things. And I get that that's not something that everybody wants to hear. My neighbors probably hate me. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. Right now, she's basically threatened scorched earth. It's kind of funny because, her being homeless, and working at the Boys and Girls Club gives her some type of privilege, I guess. But, it's interesting because, we live in a society where people don't communicate, and I'm terrible at communicating myself. Like, the situation really was going okay until basically 2 instances where on my time off, I was just kind of, at home playing video games in the wee hours of the morning, because I typically am up pretty early. I'm an artist, so I'm like up and about doing some artwork or writing, illustrating, or journaling, just, working, going through the motions, trying to not lose my head. But yeah, I screamed at the game, and she came out, she's like, yo, that's not cool, I'm trying to sleep. And I'm like, cool. First time, things kind of stayed at that, and because I'm a pretty angry person, I'm just not really socializing, I'm just cutting people off left and right. I was also, pretty curt with her at the time. And then the second time, so things kind of like really got out of hand, because like, she comes out, she's like, yo, can you stop that, blah, 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 it's the second time, etc. I'm like, cool, but we didn't really talk then because I was kind of like high strung, I was anxious and angry, just kind of like, hey, I'm not going to be able to communicate, I'm sorry, I'll stop. I stopped. So I gave it a few days to cool off myself, and then I approached her. And she always makes it seem like I'm the one that's not being civil, I'm the one that doesn't cooperate, I'm the one that's disturbing her peace. When in reality, it's her, she's unable to do any of that. And the funny thing about it is that, this is somebody who was like, pretty much had nothing, no one. And then my former friend, right, her friend that introduced me, basically comes out and is going on about like how, I'm being childish and she's being childish, she's not going to deal with it. And I'm just like, okay, cool, we're both being immature, I admit my role in this, like, I'm not exactly in a good mental place right now. So, at that second instance, I basically expressed to my former friend, hey, I've been suicidal, like I'm dealing with anger issues. And I think that it'd probably be best if she left the place. Like, I can work 2-3 full-time jobs and afford a place on my own. It's no problem. But then she starts making it seem like I'm the one that has to leave, as though she has any right. She's not even on the lease. Like, I took her in because she was apparently homeless, and of course I could use the extra, body to help pay the bills. Big mistake. I should have just have doubled down on working to pay the bills myself and work towards downscaling things. But what I'm trying to get out of here is this: if you're not in a position where you're healed and healing and working towards bettering yourself, you can't help nobody else. I clearly couldn't her any more than she could me. And that's at that time, the second fight, right? I gave it a couple of days to cool off. I come to try to, approach her level head and be like, hey, like, let's go take care of the leasing, all that. You seem like you're in a good place now. I'm also kind of getting in a good place. And then she comes at me with this really bottled up rage kind of a thing, and basically says she's not gonna have any empathy or sympathy for me. And that's when I realized, like it clicked. I was like, all right, then you should find yourself another place. And as per agreed with my former roommate, former friend, who, is still on the lease with me, I basically said, hey, like, talk to her and see if she'll leave. And she just made a scene of it all. But at any rate, she called the police because apparently me telling my former friend that I was suicidal and an angry person made her feel threatened and at risk. They come here, and well, here we are. Hopefully she'll be out of here by the 1st, and we'll be good. With my recent uptick in work, hopefully I can afford a place by myself. And if they want to evict me because I'm, trying to be a good person, brought in to disturb the peace. Not that I'm not, contributing to that. I'm just working on myself, trying to heal, trying to be better. But that's where we're at. This these videos have been therapeutic in the past, this one, not so much therapy. Just gonna outright dox some people because it's necessary. My gut tells me to do it. My interactions with the law today, 2 weeks ago, were nerve-wracking. But it's weird because I'd been dealing with this massive migraine since Sunday. Legit felt like I was gonna stroke and die. Sunday night couldn't sleep, Monday night couldn't sleep. And then today, lo and behold, I go and grab myself some incense to come home and meditate. And then she comes home and starts to basically open the door here to get the incense which she herself burns, but now alleges that mine is bugging her. It's just funny, for somebody who smokes as heavily as she does, that the incense is what bugs her. I don't know, man. I know I've been subject to being possessed by just the spirit of anger and just too much trauma, post-traumatic childhood. My childhood was great. My adoptive parents gave me so much and did so well by me. But it's becoming increasingly hard to really discern the truth, to see who's real and who's not, when everything just feels like it's Truman Show all over again. It's just a script and everybody's in on it. Gang stalking, poking and prodding and trolling me to see when I'll snap, when I'll break, when I'll finally kill myself, or just become another school shooter or something to the effect, which I won't. If I could, I would wipe out the entire human race without a second thought, because I understand it's very clear to me that the planet would be better off without us, because we have become such a disease, upon the face of the earth. It's like going back to what I said, if you're not healed, if you're not healing yourself, if I'm trying to say anything on this video, is this: look at yourself. Take a long, hard look at yourself. How are you contributing to your own destruction and undoing? And how is that affecting people around you? Because me, I worked quite hard. I've done everything that I could. And honestly, I'm just more and more comfortable in my solitude and being alone, and just not bringing people into my life, because the ones who were there before haven't contributed anything. It's just gang stalking, gossiping, bullshit. It's like the world doesn't have to fall apart, but it will. And it's not because of anything other than complacency and people just being vindictive, bitter, petty. And there are some people out here who smile in your face and tell you that they're your friend, that they care for you. But in reality, they're everything but. And those people in my life have become evident, have stood out like a sore thumb. And for too long, I, tried to work with what I had, the hand that I've been dealt. But it's time to discard that hand. I've discarded that hand and figure it out. Find something else to do and be. Because the thing about people is this: not all of them are bad. Not all of us are bad. Some of us have just really been fucked with and messed with and as I was saying, trolled, poked, prodded too long. And that, just the amount of brain damage that I've already suffered, from freaking forceps to get me out of my mom, and cracking my skull with a brick, and then recently just eating a pallet of tile to the head. That kind of put me in a place where the imbalance that was already there only became exacerbated. And all I can really do now is just breathe and focus on healing and recovering and rebuilding, and just grit my teeth and just going to work to rebuild. And this is what I recommend for everybody. It's this: don't let your fear of being alone open you up to bad people. Not all company is good company. The majority of it is actually awful. Most people don't give a fuck about you, okay? Listen to what I'm saying. The majority of people, it's like my sister says, like, they ain't family. And I'm not saying family blood. This is my adopted sister who literally was the person that brought everything to light. And I don't know, man. I know that I'm fucked. And the only thing that I can do is work very hard to unfuck myself. And that's what I've been doing and working at. And regardless of how piss poor I've been at it, don't change and don't stop me from trying. So, just putting this video out there to dox a couple of people. Their names, you can rewind them back. But, we're all in Nashville, New Hampshire, just off exit 1 on Route 3. And the others, I don't really care where they will go. This is where I will be, so I make my stand. And whatever come what may, as the saying goes. As May is right around the corner, May 1st. But yeah, I am done dealing with people's bullshit. Going forward, okay, if you're watching this and you're anybody that is in my life and you're a good person, I'm sorry that my mental state is such shit that I can't be better to be somebody that's gonna be more fun to be around. But yeah, don't let your fear of being alone, that's the one thing that all people, men, women, whoever you are, wherever you are, get very comfortable with being alone. It's dangerous. Take it from somebody who's stared at the abyss a little bit too long, and found the abyss staring right back. It's dangerous. In my anger, my inner thoughts have turned to basically just, so long as it doesn't harm any other form of life form on this planet, just coming up with some means of annihilating the human race. Not because of vengeance. Vengeance is God's, not mine. But simply to save the planet. Because frankly, when I look at the human race as a collective, and all you see is thousands being fired, the whole Ukrainian-Russian affair, the Chinese-Taiwanese affair, Haiti in our backyard here, even back in Brazil where I'm from, and here in the United States where I live, things are so out of hand that sometimes I really wonder, if this isn't really the Truman Show, if aliens aren't just treating us all as some type of complex reality TV for their entertainment and enjoyment. Because most of it makes absolutely fuck all, no sense whatsoever, And I believe that all is God, good and evil, and great and small, easy and hard, it's all God. So in my spirituality and the practices that I've been in the time since I really kind of found my way back into a spirituality, courtesy of all the trauma, it really seems to be the only thing that really helps one maintain their wits and mental health and sanity to move forward. Because people keep giving you reason to fester nothing but hatred towards them. It's sad. Because I used to like people very much. I used to be very outgoing. Now, I don't. Because, I'm pretty comfortable just being at home, doing my artwork and focusing on me and trying to recover and heal. Unravel the mysteries of my own mind. But not everybody is doing that. Some people, again, as I was saying, they'll smile to your face. They'll smile as they pull the trigger and or stab you. That's the kind of humans you're dealing with. And that's the majority of people, make no mistake. Most people are just agents. They're just agents in the matrix. They're so caught up in the fantasy and delusion of their lives and self-righteousness that they're literally incapable of being and doing anything else other than just undermining their fellow men and women and children and other animals and themselves. By being good to yourself and good to others, you stand to gain everything. by being anything else, you stand to lose everything. Now, I'm gonna try to sleep because, as I said, Sunday and Monday, no sleep. Thankfully, my migraine is gone. Looks like the weather's cleared up. But, yeah, I may be just a crazy person. And if I've harmed anyone, mentally, emotionally, physically, thankfully, no, other than myself. But in case that I'm a crazy person, I'm sorry. I'm going to work very hard towards being anything but trying to adjust and come back around, save myself. But my gut feeling tells me that I'm not crazy, that I am being very much gang-stalked, trolled, tormented, poked, and prodded by the system. Again, they need their school shooters, right? They need suicides. They need us to continuously kill each other. They need brother to kill brother, sister to kill sister, father to kill mother, and mother to kill father. They need it. It's the only way they make money anymore. Everything is magic. Everything is God. And there is a right way of doing it, and there's a wrong way of doing it. And human civilization is going about it in the most horrible and incorrect of ways. Myself among you. I don't count myself out. I am just as much garbage as you are. But in case you're a good person, don't let this or anything else get you. Keep on being good. I don't know if the kingdom of heaven exists. I think heaven is right here, as is hell. But, yeah. I'm gonna probably be more active on here, just to share my struggle and my strive for mental health. I am going to rebuild towards getting the necessary aid. I've had brain scans in the past and they said it was nothing. I just needed glasses, right? When I had all my migraines as a teenager. Migraines never went away. The glasses surely help. I can read from far now. That probably was a contributing factor. But in the interseason period, early spring, early winter, when the weather is unstable, I have these serious migraines. And thankfully, the worst is behind me from this past episode, from the weather. But yeah, in case the world is very much real and people are very much real and I'm just a crazy person or just an unfortunate person to be dealing with a handful of miscreants, you know, it's hard to really tell reality from fantasy, anger from joy anymore, because I try to work with people and people have labeled me difficult, but I don't know. I've been accused of lacking empathy, and I honestly have a pretty bad opinion of myself. There's nothing anyone out here can say about me that I haven't said about myself, that I don't think of myself. And it's a shame, because the world is a big place full of wonders. But yeah, I mean, I was pretty suicidal. Have been, probably will have my relapse at some point when things get out of hand. I hope I don't follow my heroes, Robin Williams, Heath Ledger, down that path, Chester Bennington. I'm doing what I can not to. Not for me. Maybe I should do it for me, right? Maybe that's the first step. But for my family doesn't deserve it. My biological mother probably couldn't have me. I mean, we are from a pretty, I don't want to use the word rotten because I would be doing a disservice to my people and the land, which is a very fertile and beautiful place that I come from. But in 1987, my mother, on the edge of the Amazon, where women weren't very much valued, where the law was the gun, through basically when I left there in '01, like, massacres weren't unheard of simply because it's a brutal place. So I don't blame my mom. I don't blame my adopted family for keeping it from me. My own adoptive mother has had her own share of traumas, and I can understand why she lied, why my dad lied, why everybody lied. But that's the thing, the lies gotta stop somewhere. If we're not living in truth, you're not living. Truth is freedom. Truth is liberty. And I'm not gonna sit here and radicalize it and say, give me freedom or give me death, because I don't believe there are any wars left to fight. There are no wars left to conquer, and we're all weeping because of it. Not just Alexander Alexander the Great. He's not the only one weeping. We all are. And we're not impotent because there is no great adventure to go on. Life itself is the greatest of all adventures, regardless of place or time. And we as a species, we as a race, the human race, one race, anybody telling you otherwise is trying to sell you something. And it's time that we stop the genocide of the human race. It's time we stop the violence. It's time we stop the abuse. As somebody who's been gaslit, who's been trolled, who probably has done his own fair share of self-gaslighting, self-trolling. Now I'm here to say that if on the odd chance that I'm not crazy and you're taking anything away from this video, take a long hard look in the mirror. What is your role in your own suffering, in your own damnation? And course correct. Nobody's expecting you to wake up the next morning, snap your fingers, and all is well. It takes time to process. Fall in love with the process. Fall in love with yourself. Learn to find comfort in solitude so that you are not allowing negative energies in your space, because that shit is contagious and it can become terminal pretty quickly. And it's a shame because, again, I worked very hard to get to where I am, to let myself or anyone else undo any of it. But yeah, it's where I am. I am probably now gonna be targeted and victimized again. I'm expecting to, because again, these people know where I live, have my car smashed. Brought the police back again after she left today to show the little parting gift that she left. And the cops basically told me to fuck off, because, you know, yay, so much for law enforcement, right? Being there to protect and serve. And I know, I accuse her of some wild things, and I hope that I'm wrong. But like I told the officers, like I told my former friend, I doubt it. Energy doesn't lie. No matter how good an actor you are. Trust me. Well, with that said, hopefully this will save, hopefully this will upload. Wherever you are, whoever you are, have a great day, great night, great morning, great evening, whatever it is. May we all find what we seek. And may what we seek be creation and restoration, not genocide and annihilation. No more shootings, no more suicides. Just people cooperating with one another towards healing themselves and the world. This is Atos Gomez Fonseca, sending you what little peace and love I have left in me. And, you know, hopefully we can turn around. Hopefully I can turn things around, come back better, stronger, She too. I hope all the best to everyone. I don't wish nothing bad on nobody. Like I said, the only negativity left in me is if I can find out a way or concoct a way to just exterminate the human race without affecting anything else on this world, consider it done. Because all other species on this planet are children of God, children of the earth, and they deserve this place much better than we, because we were afforded thousands upon thousands of years to figure shit out and take care of the garden, and all we do is pollute, murder, rape, and destroy. But I'm the bad guy because, I've had one too many bad days. And sometimes I scream out loud in a fit of rage because either somebody's upset me or a video game upset me. But I'd sooner that than to, go shoot up a school or my workplace or any such thing. That doesn't solve anything. So if you're watching this and having those thoughts, I don't know. Self-harm, I know that it's not cool, but perhaps unalive yourself. If that's the terminology that YouTube, accepts. Unalive yourself. But don't harm nobody else. Preferably not yourself. Go seek help, man. Find help. Man, woman, child, whoever you are. If you're listening to this, if you're watching this, seek help. And if you're alone, seek your own help. Somebody who suffers from BPD and has been journaling to log everything to get a better sense of my many personalities and moods. Let me wrap this up with this. Become friends with the eyes in the abyss. They're staring right back at you. It's not a monster. Monsters don't exist. There are predators and prey. Like a grizzly bear is a predator. And if you happen to be unfortunate enough to cross it and upset it, you become its prey. Humans are the only creature on this earth that do that onto its own kind, viciously, with no regard for life. None. Again, you could be very well a crazy person. Disregard everything that I said if that's the case. But I doubt it. And that breaks my heart. More than it's already been broken by everything and everyone. Sign out, and I'll see you guys next time.